Good evening, everyone. We're going to go ahead on and call the meeting to order, and I welcome everyone here this evening to the Brawley City Council and Community Redevelopment Agency meeting on June the 17th at 6 p.m. Can we have the roll call, please?
The minutes will reflect all city council members present.
Okay, we're going to have the invocation by Pastor Mike Newcheck from El Rentar Church and the Pledge of Allegiance by Councilwoman Mrs. Helen Noriega.
Father, we praise you, we thank you. And Father, we come before you in Jesus' precious name on this evening, and we thank you for the opportunity of being called your children. And as we come together as a city, as leaders and people who are directing the steps and the direction of this city that you've put into their hands, we ask for your wisdom, for your direction, of your hand, of your spirit, in each and every decision that is to be made, especially in these days in which our city is going through some tough changes. We need wisdom, we need direction from above. We ask you, Father, that you come in your presence to be manifested and to guide and direct each and every leader in every area of our city. For we ask and pray this in the name of the Father, of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen. Okay. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pastor, and thank you, Mrs. Noriega. We're going to move on to the next item on the agenda. And that is the approval of the agenda.
I make a motion.
I second.
Approve the agenda.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. The next item on the agenda is public appearance and comments. And this is the time for the public to address the council on any item that's not appearing on the agenda. That is when the subject matter is jurisdiction of the city council. The mayor will recognize you when you come to the microphone. Please state your name for the record. You are not allowed to make personal attacks on individuals or make comments which are slanders or which may invade an individual's personal privacy. Please direct your questions and comments to the city council. And if there is someone that would like to come up from the public for an item that's not on the agenda, this is the time to do so. Oops.
Hello, my name is Joel Gonzalez, and I wanted to introduce Jonathan Gonzalez. He's their 2014 Reader's Choice Athlete of the Year for Ivy Press.
Mijo, you can talk. It's all right.
My name is Jonathan Gonzalez, and I guess I'm Athlete of the Year.
I guess I'm Athlete of the Year. There we go.
I'm 13 now. Birthday was June 9.
What school? Happy birthday.
Yeah.
I go to Barbara Worth. I'm going to be an 8th grader now.
Yay.
How many home runs?
I got all together,
Because I know you count. Yeah.
I don't know, like 30 something.
Oh, you do? That's a lot.
Yeah. Joe, before you leave,
Congratulations.
we this council and this community want to thank you for what you do to help with these kids in the community. Whether and I don't know whether you guys know it or not, but there's a lot of times when we call Joe for barbecuing or cooking or whatever it is with him and Desert RV, and he's always there to help with these children, bro. And for me to you, I just want to say thank you and good job, Mijo. And I can tell you're dressed for practice, huh?
Yeah.
He's got to go straight to practice. So good job. Keep up the good work.
Thanks. Yeah.
Oh, his plaque.
Oh, there we go.
He wants it.
I would like to take this time to express gratitude on behalf of myself and my wife and the church. This past June 8th, we celebrated 38 years of being pastors in the city of Brawley. And you putting up with us and we putting up with you. We came here from the LA area. We were barely out of seminary. My wife graduated on the 4th of June of 1976. June 8th, we got installed to be pastors of the Redeemer Church, El Redentor in Spanish. And we've been there for 38 years. We didn't have no kids, barely 10 months married. And 38 years later, we're empty nested. It's me and my wife again, chasing each other around. And
Fun.
and after all these years, we have 10 grandkids, 3 daughters, and our son, who just graduated from the Navy. Pray for him. He's in the Great Lakes area of Chicago. And so we just want to thank you for helping us do what we feel that God has called us to do. And we're friends with so many of you and your families. Is a lot of years, but some people say, when are you going to retire? I don't know the definition of that word. We're just glad to be of service to God first, and we want to thank God. We want to thank the city. We want to thank the congregation for putting up with us and being able to survive here. Because when we first came here to the valley, a lot of people asked us, why did you go to the valley? Well, we feel that it was a call of God, because I'm originally from San Francisco. So to come here, it was a big change, you know. And when I first got here, we got a bunch of cards to send our relatives. One that I found at a Thrifty at that time, it said Brawley, 10 miles away, and there was a man crawling on his stomach in the desert. It said, Brawley, 10 miles away, hell, 3 feet away.
Thank you so much, Pastor.
Good evening, honorable mayors, councilmen, staff. My name is Augie Chang. I'm actually here representing the San Diego and Imperial Counties chapter of the American Public Works Association. I'm happy to be here presenting an award for the Brawley Transit Center that just opened up. A little bit about APWA. We have over 30,000 members across the nation with international partners, consisting of 60 chapters, and in San Diego and Imperial Counties, we have over 400 members. We exist to help develop and support the people, agencies, and organizations that plan, build, maintain, and improve our communities to the public infrastructure. This year's chapter awards were held on May 22nd, of which I'm happy to say that the awards, more than 370 people attended our local luncheon, awards luncheon, with 37 projects that received award from 22 different public agencies, again, San Diego and Imperial County. And the Brawley project was awarded the Project of the Year in the transportation category for under $2 million category. And this little $2 million station not just won the APWA local award, it won an ASCE Award of Merit, it won a SCAG Sustainability Award, and it was a finalist in the statewide California Transportation Foundation Award, which Mayor Campbell, Mark Baza from ICTC and I were there. We competed against the mighty Sandags with a $60 million project that ended up winning, but it's an honor to have been a finalist in that statewide consideration. So with that, it's my pleasure to present the Project of the Year for transportation between under $2 million for the Brawley Transit Center. I see the award. It's already proudly displayed up on the wall. I want to congratulate all of you, the citizens, and especially recognize your staff, Yasmin Ariano, Steve Sullivan, Alan Chan, who just poured their hearts out into making this project a reality. So congratulations on behalf of APWA.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Augie, real quick before you're seated, I want to thank you so much for helping represent our city and our community when we attended that event in Sacramento, there was, as Augie said, there was a lot of people there, and we're competing against some large cities with some large projects. But it's just an honor to be mentioned amongst all those projects that went on. And again, you helped represent our city real well, and I want to thank you, sir, for that. Thank you very much.
My honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Carmenela Rajo, and all these good things that he was saying about the city and all this, I hope I don't come out with something way different. Okay? Honorable Mayor Don Campbell, City Brawley Council President. I have come here today to ask the following questions. After several claims that the downtown Main Street pavement would be repaired, why has this not been done? What does the Brawley City Council have to do to get this done? Do you have to get state funds? Why haven't funds been found to fix our downtown Main Street? Why do heavy commercial trucks drive through our downtown when the Brawley commercial truck bypass have been completed for them? Wasn't this bypass built to keep heavy commercial trucks from damaging our city streets and downtown Main? What can we expect the downtown Main Street repairs to be completed? To me, well, I was born here in Brawley, and it was yesterday. But anyway, to me, I love my Brawley, and I wanted to do better in the, well, I shouldn't say this, but in the 1930s and the 1940s, we had a beautiful town. A lot of stores, 2 stores, dress shops, and a lot of beautiful stores. The only thing that when the earthquake came in the 40s, a lot of stores or a lot of people left the city. But I don't expect this to be done overnight, but we do need to fix the city. It looks awful. It's, to me, it's worse than my age because I'm old, but I don't give up, and I hope somehow, but I think we need to fix the Main Street first, because you know how all these trucks used to pass through, and that's and maybe reroute the trucks, commercial trucks, to not be passing through the Main Street. Okay, I'm sorry to bring this up after all this nice thing they said, but I'm not trying to be mean or something.
Yeah.
But with God's help, everything can be done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Arroyo.
Mom, let me say this before she leaves, so everybody know that is my mom. So when Mom talk, you listen, and we really have been working with the city. We've been working with SCAG. The Arts District with Mrs. Woods has just came forward here in the last couple of weeks, and we're looking at grants, and we've been traveling to Sacramento and to Washington, D.C., chasing the funds to make this happen. And you're right, our downtown Main Street needs a lot of work, and it's not that we're asleep at the wheel. We're trying to get these funds together and trying to get things in place, and we've got some businesses that's looking at coming downtown. We've got some projects that we're looking at with water lines and restriping and changing the looks of downtown. And I know it's sometimes we get a little impatient, but believe me, we hear you. We hear what you're saying, and we're working on it. I promise you.
Thank you, Mr. Rajo. We are working on revitalizing downtown. We have been for quite some time. It takes a little longer, and it's taken a little longer than we'd like, but it's something that we take to heart as well. We love Brawley too, and I'm glad that you came out here to share your comments with us, but I can assure you that this council is working very hard to try to make something positive happen on not just the 5 and 600 block of Main Street, but throughout the city. So we appreciate the comment and know that all the council members here are working very hard to try to make positive things happen here in the city. So.
And I know when you see me, you say, here comes trouble.
No.
No.
Wait.
And also, we have different committees that are also working to do different things on the downtown. And if you don't mind, I'd like to give your name and your phone number to a couple of these committees, and you can be on it to also put your input of how you would like to see it and what ideas you have. Because throughout the years that you've been here, you have helped the community grow in many ways. You have been on different committees that I know of for, well, we won't talk about the years, but, for lots of years. So I think that you're one of our, as John says, one of our mothers of the community of the city of Brawley. So I will give your name and your phone number to people around here, and I know that NOCA would be one of them, and they'd be truly honored to have you on there. Okay?
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mom. Is there anyone else from the public who'd like to come up? All right.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council, and staff. Jason Zara with the Brawley Chamber. And I think that was my cue because I had a couple of things to come up and talk to you about with some ongoing improvements we're working on for the downtown. So, the first thing I wanted to mention isn't technically in downtown, but we have completed our art contest for the mural project for Hinojosa Park. And so it's the Institute for Socioeconomic Justice, Hidalgo Hall, NOCA, Brawley Chamber, and the city came together. And so we do have a winner of our art contest. We actually just got this decision made so recently that the winner doesn't know this yet, but we will announce the winner is going to be Felix Daniel Lopez. And so the next step, he's going to win the $250 prize for the art concept. And now the next step in the process will be finding an artist. We're going to, the idea wasn't that the winning art piece will be reproduced exactly on the wall. This is our winning concept. We're now going to work with the artist to say, okay, we'd like to include these elements and these elements and produce a final project, and that final project will come to the City Council for approval. So we're not leaving you out of the loop or anything. This is just the first step, but we are one step closer to having the mural in the park. The next project that we're one step closer to as well, and I'll be taking this to the Chamber Board for approval this week, is the Downtown Merchant Fund money. We have about little over $20,000 that we're looking to spend. And we, as you know, we completed a survey of downtown merchants, and the number one response they asked for was physical improvements in the downtown. And so toward that end, we're looking at planter boxes, benches, and we just recently added the possibility of some artistically inspired bike racks. And so those would be a nice tie-in to the downtown arts district, which will come up later. But so we've been working with Rosanna for some design ideas or some really nice things that look like they'll be feasible to put in. Once the Chamber Board approves a budget on this, then of course we'll work more closely with Rosanna to finalize the potential plan and take that to I believe it'll need City Council approval as well for the final decisions. I think I'll be working with Yasmin to find exactly the right place to put them. We don't want to block the sidewalk with bike racks or anything, but it's a pretty exciting project, and it's going to hopefully help. It will be part of an ongoing promotion to encourage people to shop downtown. And, of course, as the Chamber, part of our job is to promote the local business, and so we'll be working further on that. And there will be a little more to come on that in coming weeks and months, but we're excited that it is making progress. And if all goes well, everything will be in place before cattle call. So when the visitors come to town, there will be lots of new improvements for them to see. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Jason. Is there any questions or comments from council for Jason?
No, not directly to Jason, but just a comment to write on some of the things that he has planned. I think they're great, Jason. I think improving the cities in all our interest, and just food for thought for the rest of council. There's been probe items regarding the city and its appearance. Just food for thought for everybody here. I think maybe it's time to reconsider having a full-time code enforcement officer on board. We've had one in the past and it was eliminated, but I think it's a prime time to do that to help beautify our city, clean it up, and we need to start from there. But just food for thought, just echoing some of the sentiment that some of the members of the public shared today. But thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Jay Kruger. I'm coming to the microphone this time as Vice President of the Brawley Community Foundation. I want to thank the staff that have helped us with the Brawley Theater. We found out this week, or actually we've already gone on board with our power We have separated our power from the auxiliary people that we had, and we want to thank Dr. Ching for supplying power for the last, I think it was a year that we had Bring Back Main Street. And we're moving forward, and the building staff have been bent over backwards to help us, and we're moving forward with the theater. Next thing is to put the roof on, keep the pigeons out.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Jay, thank you so much for your effort with that.
Thank you.
It's almost like we wrote the lineup for the presenters today, huh? It's like,
Anyone else from the public like to come up? Okay, if not, we're going to move on to the next item, and I'll let the chief take over from here, and we're going to introduce some employees to the city.
Yes. Mayor Campbell, members of the City Council, it's my honor to introduce you to three of our newest employees at the Police Department. Wrote down some notes here, so I got little details on them. First, I'd like to introduce Tarek Swithenbank. Tarek was raised in the Oceanside area, attended Oceanside High School. Approximately 4 years ago, the Brawley Police Department hired Tarek's brother, Daniel, as a police officer with us. And although Tarek showed an interest in law enforcement, it wasn't until she went on several ride-alongs where she was hooked and focused her career path in that direction. Tarek sponsored herself and graduated the Palomar Police Academy in 2012. After reviewing her background, specifically her work history, it became very evident to me that she's a hard worker with a strong commitment to carry out her assigned duties, two attributes I truly believe are important in this profession. Tarek was sworn in on May 13th and completed her first month of field training. She is on her second phase of field training. She'll have 3 more months to go, and then she'll be assigned to our patrol division. The Brawley Police Department's excited to get such a high-caliber individual, and we look forward to working with Tarek as she begins her law enforcement career. Tarek Swithenbank. Next, I'd like to introduce you to Officer David Bernal. David was born in La Moretta. Knew I'd get that wrong. Married, his wife Yasmin. David shared with me that it's been a lifelong dream of his to be a police officer. David also has a brother who's in law enforcement. He sponsored himself and graduated the Rio Hondo Police Academy in 2009, and then he received additional training in the Orange County Sheriff's Training Center in 2012. One thing I learned about David is his perseverance and his ability to stay focused on what drives him. While you're waiting for the stars to align and the opportunities to come up, it's easy to throw your hands up and kind of drift away from that. And although David did take another job in a different profession, and he did quite well, he never lost focus of his dream. And on May 13th, last month, David's dream became a reality when he became a Brawley police officer. He, too, has completed his first month of field training. He's on phase 2, and he'll have 3 more months. And then upon successful completion, he will be assigned to our patrol division. The Brawley Police Department, again, is excited to acquire such a high-level person, and know he'll do a great job for the community. Officer David Bernal. Michael Angel Gonzalez, or goes by Angel, Officer Angel Gonzalez, was born and raised in the city of Brawley and graduated Brawley Union High School 2006.
You better say yay.
Good job. I'm there.
Okay.
After high school, Angel attended IBC and then transferred to San Diego State, where he obtained his bachelor's in criminal justice. Angel also has a brother who was in law enforcement. If anyone happens to see a pattern here.
Yeah.
Angel moved to San Diego, sponsored himself through Southwest Academy, Chula Vista. Last week, myself and other officers had the distinct honor of attending that graduation. Kind of unique. To Angel, he's class 56 of the Southwest. I was class 4. We'll leave it at that. After speaking with Angel, I noted he demonstrated a consistent pattern of maturity, and he's excited for his new career. He exhibits a genuine care for this community, and certainly a stakeholder in its success. Angel will be on his first phase of his field training, and then upon success, he will be assigned to the patrol division. One thing we don't anticipate is he should have no problem with his streets.
Yeah, that's right.
Again, the Brawley Police Department is pleased to select a homegrown talent and look forward to working with Angel as his law enforcement journey begins. Officer Angel Gonzalez.
Picture
Yes.
with the mayor.
Come on, Mayor. Come on, Chief. Get in. You have 3 cameramen, so wait.
Oh, that's smart. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Good job, brother.
That's good.
Very good.
Honorable Mayor, Council Members, Shirley Bonilla's Personnel Risk Management. It is my honor and my pleasure to introduce to you our newest addition to the Finance Department.
She's right behind you.
How can you miss her? She's tall.
She snuck around the other side.
You're awesome.
He's
You've
already there.
heard that before, right? Ms. Carla Valdez is a Brawleyite as well. She's a Brawley Union High School graduate. She has worked for our Parks and Recreation Department and is a seasonal worker, and she filled in on a normal basis for admin supports to numerous departments. She was the go-to gal if we were needing some secretarial help. She was hired by the Finance Department as a temporary accounting assistant back in 2012. And it's my honor and privilege to have her aboard as our newest full-time employee over at the Finance Department, Ms. Carla Valdez. I just want to say thank you, Mayor, City Council members. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Congratulations.
Welcome.
Congratulations. Welcome.
Thank you.
She's been looking for full-time employment here. I mean, she did.
She's very fair.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. She's a very nice person. Very customers.
Hi, Monica. Bye, Monica. Watch out.
They're going to pass it right now.
He's too back.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Right now. Take some pictures.
I thought you were already with us. Congratulations.
Yeah, she's taller than me.
Carla, congratulations. I'm very happy for you.
Okay. Before we move on to the next item, I just want to make sure if there's anyone else from the public that'd like to come up, and if not, we're going to move on to the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Okay, and then we'll move right along to the next item on the agenda under regular business. Presentation by Dr. John Butera. Burba. President, CEO of Symbol Materials regarding project implementation activities in Northern Imperial County. And I remember when we did the ribbon cutting over at Symbol's Material. Glad to have you here, sir.
Well, thank you very much. Mayor Campbell and City Council members, we really appreciate the opportunity to talk with you about what we're doing with Symbol. Things have progressed very rapidly in the last year. We have completed a very large engineering program, and we are set for groundbreaking in probably September. We're looking at a large groundbreaking ceremony, more than likely in the October timeframe, and we're working with county officials to get that set up. And of course, hopefully you all will come.
Yes.
You can tell I'm from Texas, you all. You know, y'all is a small number. You all is everybody in
Right.
So, but let me tell you a little bit about this project. The timing for the project is really good because the demand for lithium in particular is going to be skyrocketing because of electric vehicles and grid storage, and some critical things have happened in the industry such that we've really crossed a critical milestone. Tesla in particular has done a remarkable job of proving that electric vehicles are practical and very economic. They've got vehicles that can travel 260 miles without a recharge. That's a huge deal. And so the market is starting to respond. We have seen remarkable interest in investment in our company. We're closing out on our Series C financing. Our intent is to raise approximately $200 million to finish out the financing for the first plant. And right now it looks like we're going to be oversubscribed for that, so that's very positive. So everything is moving forward in a great way. We expect to have the plant completed in the first half of 2017, and so the first full year of manufacturing would be 2018 with follow-on expansions, and we will probably begin another project that will double the size of this plant probably almost immediately. So we're going to be constructing for some time. So we think we have a very exciting opportunity, and we're thrilled to be able to be part of the community down here.
Yeah. Mr. Berber, I hope I'm not speaking out of turn here, but I want to say that the City of Brawley and this council and our community want to reach out to you guys, sir, and make sure that we're partners in Absolutely. You guys' plans, and not real sure what the future plans are, but I just want to make sure that you know that we're here to be partners with you guys and do what we can to make sure that you're in our area.
Well, thank you very much. We already have an engineering lab here in the Brawley area.
Exactly.
And we're shifting more and more work into that area. In fact, we're moving some equipment in, and we're going to be doing more of our engineering work here locally as we move forward. So, and over the next few years, we could see that become a major activity for the company.
Me saying that, I was at that ribbon cutting, so I remember that. But I'm thinking about those other plants you're talking about.
Well, absolutely. Yes. So, we really crave the ability to partner with you guys, and we'll look for opportunities in which we can work together.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Any questions or comments?
We will be there
council?
for you.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Berber, I just got a question. My understanding, are you headquartered up in Northern California? Is it?
Actually, we have been headquartered in Northern California.
Right.
My staff and I all live in Denver, and so we're going to shift the corporate headquarters to Denver. But the bulk of the company is going to be right here.
Yeah.
So our engineering department and the manufacturing facility, of course. So we will employ for the first plant probably about 150 full-time employees here. And of course, as we expand, then that means more employment. The employment during construction will probably reach about 400 people. That'll be all construction capabilities, pipe fitters, electricians, constructors, the whole works. So it's a very large project. On our first plant, the numbers are going to be about $360 million. So it's a significant investment on our part.
Well, Dr. Burba, if there's anything we can do to help locate administrative offices here in the city of Brawley, we're here to help you and in any way that we can.
Well, I thank you very much, and we've not made any decisions with respect to administrative offices. But
we'll help you make that decision right now.
Well, thank you. One thing that we are really focused on, and we'd like to partner with you guys on this, is we're really into hiring locally and once we get people into the company, we're very focused on training. So most of our jobs will require a high school degree or a GED. But as soon as they come in, there's training to get in. And then we'll hire them, we train them, and then they start doing their job. But we have a focus on continuing education. And we really like the idea of homegrown talent. We just recently hired a young man from Calexico who is a chemical engineer. And so we really want to focus on local higher education. And we have some programs that we're working with local community colleges to work through this. So any ideas that you guys have about this, we want to do that. We'd like to offer up also, we'd be more than happy to, help with the education in the area. We want to do whatever we can to encourage young people to have the excitement and desire to go into chemistry, chemical engineering, electrical engineering, whatever, because it's really a matter of willpower more than anything else. And so we want to try to help out as much as we can.
Yes. Well, it's funny, but I won't say who it is, but there's someone out here in the audience that I can see is very well in tune to what you're saying, and he's one of our big wheels around here, so don't get any ideas. I won't say who you are, and I won't look, but no stealing. But good luck.
Yeah.
No,
okay,
great.
thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Berber. And is there anyone from the public that's got a question for Mr. Berber with the symbol materials?
What's the temperature of Denver? It is a scorching 74 degrees.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Jay. Nice, yes. Okay.
Mind over matter.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much,
Dr.
Berber.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item on the agenda under 4B is review and potential action to adopt resolution number 2014, resolution of the City Council of the City of Brawley, California, establishing the Brawley Downtown Arts District.
Thank you, Mayor Campbell. This evening you have an item before you that is intended to be a takeoff on a presentation that was made from our friends at the North County Coalition for the Arts. That presentation was made at our first meeting in May, on May 6th, and following that, at the Council's direction, we have worked closely with NOCA staff to develop a resolution that really kind of honors this notion of downtown being a place, a gathering place for arts and cultural opportunities. And as recently as June 7th, I had the chance to present this draft resolution and get feedback from the NOCA board. We do have with us today some of the NOCA board members, as well as the executive director, Rosemary Wood, and I'd like to invite her up just for a moment to talk a little bit about the board's receptiveness to this idea and the feedback that they provided relative to the resolution that's in front of you tonight.
Well, thank you, and good evening, Mayor and the City Council. Again, my name is Rosemary Wood. I'm the Executive Director of NOCA, North County Coalition for the Arts, and I have here our Vice President, Sal Ortiz. And I want to thank our Mayor. Rosanna attended a very long meeting. It was a presentation to my board, and I'm very grateful to say that it was very well received and very well attended. So The presentation to the board was the resolution that you have before you, and it was unanimously supported by my board. I think, do you have any comments about the, okay. Come on, Sal, help me out. And Jay,
Unless you're too nervous.
I'm always too nervous, sorry. Give me a script, I'm better. What I would like to say is that Rosanna was so gracious in explaining the opportunities that we are looking forward to in the Brawley area, not in just the downtown, but I have a very inquisitive board members, and they were concerned also about what's going on in the downtown area and what's going on in the streets, and my board was quite pleased to hear all the improvements that the city has been working on, and it isn't just overnight. It will take 3 to 5 years, I'm sure, to get everything that we are looking forward to presenting in the downtown area. Yes, we've done a wonderful job, outside in the outskirts and bringing in box retail, but I think just like I'm sorry, was it Ms. Rowe? Was saying that, we need to bring life back into the downtown area. And in speaking to many business owners and citizens in Brawley, I've been very well received in regards to the Arts District. I do have to say we also installed a young group of members, which they're called Friends of NOCA, and they are the under 40, and they also are extremely excited, except I had a board member that wanted to change that to 70 and under. He was not happy about that, but then Bill Gates said, wait a minute, so I think we're going to have a lot of support. But it was a long meeting. It was 2.5 hours long on a Saturday morning, so I want it to be recognize that Rosanna was very gracious to show up to our meeting. It's an annual meeting that I have, and so it's a report of what we've done. It is my first year, so it was the closing of what we have accomplished and what we want to continue to accomplish. I'm very, very grateful for this opportunity and for a partnership with the city. We have tons of talent on my board and on the executive team. I will want to say this, that between Jay and I, there's about 100 years of experience in the arts. And I want to say that another team member is Jeff Green. That adds 1 year.
Okay.
He has been now recruited. He is now a theater geek. He's our resident theater geek. So he has been helping us with the theater. So we're, and then of course we have Megan Strom, who's our educational director. So we're really, really excited to work with the city, work with all the community members, and also Mr. Jason Zara, who has been extremely helpful in helping us discuss what it would look like for the Arts District and working together to get businesses here and supporting a downtown area and beautifying the downtown area. And I do believe with all my heart that the Arts District, naming the Downtown Arts District, we build it, they will come. Mm-hmm. We will have our hustle and bustle of the 30s and 40s.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Wood. Thank you. Mr. Ortiz.
She touched on about everything, but listening to Mrs. Araujo, yes, I don't think we'll ever see the things we used to see back in the 30s and 40s, especially taconazo and stuff like that. But those are the good old days. But we're going in the right direction. Everybody's doing what Rosanna came and approached us with was very good stuff. Things that are changing, the new lighting for the plaza, some of the things that I even suggested, but we'll get to that later. I'm sure she will. But we're on the right move. The theater, the artwork that we're getting ready to put around. There's some things that are coming up real quick around the Rock. you have the bus terminal there. Things are going up. I don't know if it's ever going to be back where we'll have the retail like that. Maybe it might be, Restaurant Row, you might be the gas lamp area or something like that.
That's right.
That's what I'm thinking is going to be, because to me, as a businessman in Brawley, I don't see it going back to where we had the businesses before. But I see a gas lamp type deal. If you look downtown El Cajon, they've done a nice job on putting little bistros and Italian restaurants downtown.
Arts and restaurants,
So that's where I see where it's going to go. Walmart's taking the business away from downtown. I hate to say it, but that's the way it is. But we're on the right move. Thank you so much, Rosana. That was a great presentation. It opens our eyes. Some of the things, like Mr. Rajo says, why is it taking so long? We don't know about those things. We know you're working on it, though, and we know that it's a forward motion. So thank you so much for your presentation. It's good.
Thank you, Mr. Ortiz.
One real quick thing too, because you touched on it about a code enforcement officer.
Yes.
I says, one of the things I want to thank you for, and I've said this to Mr. Couchman at Rotary meetings, whoever's going out and painting over graffiti, thank you.
He's right behind you, Mr. Ortiz.
Some stuff off in front of El Sol the other day, and I wanted to stop there and say thank you and shake your hand. You're doing a great job. That makes the city look good. I drive to El Centro and I see some of the stuff over there. The other thing that I do on Saturday mornings, I go down, take yard sign sounds, that the signs that are down that have been there for 3 weeks. I think that's an eyesore and stuff like that. I think people in their residence, if they see it on a telephone pole in front of their house, they need to take ownership of themselves instead of putting it in probe. But that's a different story. That's a different story. Okay. So I love the community. I love that there's no signs downtown, and especially if there's a sign in the plaza, it's down on Saturday morning when I go to work. So
thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ortiz. Thank you, Mrs. Woods. Is there any questions for Mrs. Woods and Noka?
Not a question, but just don't forget to get Ms. Arajo's phone number so you can put her on a committee.
I would really love to.
Thank you.
We need input from everyone, so I appreciate it. I do want to say one more thing on a personal note, because it's really important to let you know that also our Parks and Rec Director, Richard Rubio, which I wish... I'm going to start to cry. But I've been going to the meetings under the direction of Parks and Rec, which I believe that's where the Arts Commissioner is a great fit. It's been a great partnership, and Richard has been extremely proactive, positive, and so supportive. We just had a meeting he was also part of the meeting for the mural at the Hinojosa Park. So he's always involved and cares so much, and he's going to be deeply missed, but I do know that we have someone coming in also that's going to have the same positive impact. But I have to personally thank him.
Yeah. All right. Rosemary, I would say this. Richard just thinks he's retiring. We know where he lives, so... Thank you. Yeah, so,
That's another one you can put on Noka.
So thank you. But it's really exciting with everything. And I really love the energy that the council is moving forward with. So thank you.
Thank you.
I look forward humbly and honorably to serve and help work with the city.
Thank you very much,
Thank you,
Ms. Woods. And I can tell you, getting past overcoming the effects of losing the RDA and to say that our main street at one time was a state highway. It really wasn't under the jurisdiction of the city. So we kind of just now gotten that back. And guys, I'm telling you, we've been burning the candle at both ends, working with the federal and the state level, and with SCAG and the cities and the counties and ICTC, and we're going to get this thing together. Okay, we're working together and we're going to get it together. So I appreciate you guys' patience, and we promise you we're going to work hard on it. Okay.
Mr. Mayor, with regard to the resolution adoption, I would make a motion to adopt the resolution establishing the Brawley Downtown Arts District.
There's a motion and a second to approve the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is discussion and potential action regarding the authorization of construction change order number 3 in the amount of $53,513 for project number 201306.
That's item C.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Thank you, George. That's why we have a mayor pro tem. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me move back. Item C, discussion potential regarding award of contract number 201409, purchase of rock products, asphalt, cement, concrete, and other miscellaneous street products to CalGrade Incorporated for a period of 2 years with a third-year option for an approximate amount of $289,200 per year. And if I had missed that, Valerie would have.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and Council. Steve Sullivan, Public Works. I'm an engineer, also a Brawley Union High School grad, 1997.
There you go.
There you go. With my daughter.
You kind of summed it up. I was curious if there are any specific questions, perhaps, because this is Class 2 base asphalt sand that the streets crew uses on an annual basis.
Just for public information, normally what we do is we'll go out to bid for the materials and stuff that's used throughout the city for maintenance and repairs, and this is what this item is. So.
And due to the size, we did not place it on the consent agenda. It's under regular business in the event council wishes to explore any aspect of the bidding process or the selection process.
I did ask for backup information. It included the specifications from the city of Brawley and what they were requiring. So it wasn't very detailed in the backup information that was provided to council, and it shows the tons of sand, crushed rock, Class 2 base, etc., that are part of the contract that's being considered at this point. So that clarified my questions.
And I get equally, and I appreciate that. Thank you to our Mayor Pro Tem. That extra detail helped. I was curious, and it was funny because you flipped the material to the very back side. Talked about delivery. So that includes that material stored elsewhere. I take it it's not stored on city property.
Typically,
and then utilize it. It's utilized on demand
as needed.
Okay,
Correct.
As needed. So that I thought that was good for clarification. And in that price, obviously includes the storage and delivery of those materials. And the only other question I had is this a year's worth of material, or it's a couple years? I see. Okay,
2 years.
2 years.
Third-year option.
But
Okay.
it's the amount is per year.
Correct.
Okay.
Any other
I'm just happy it's a local company and that
Yeah,
they're
absolutely.
doing business locally. And
I would make a motion, Mr. Mayor, to approve and award the contract for purchase of rock products and other materials from CalGrade Inc. for a period of 2 years.
There's a motion and a second to approve the award, a 2-year contract with a third-year option for $289,200. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Thank you very much,
Thank
Mr.
you,
Sullivan. And okay, now we'll move on to the next item.
Congratulations, Val.
Thank you, Val. Thank you, Val. Discussion and potential action regarding the authorization of construction change order number 3 in the amount of $53,513 for project number 201306, Panel Drive Construction.
Hi, good evening, council members, Mr. Mayor. Guillermo Sillas, civil engineer with Public Works. I'm sorry I didn't graduate from Brawley High School.
Okay.
Guillermo, you still welcome, sir.
It's all right. We still like
But keep it short. No.
Thank you. Okay, this is a change order for the project on Pano, the construction of Pano Drive, and the change order for this number 3 is because during the project we had to remove some sidewalk and curb and gutter to match the elevations of the existing project with the new state highway widening. And also we had to modify the radiuses of the curbs on the northwest and southwest corner of that intersection to provide more space between the curb and the signal poles. As a recommendation from Caltrans, due to previous experience where the trucks turning hit the heads of the signals, so they wanted more space, and so we had to modify the radius and to provide more space. So we had to add more sidewalk with the consequent increase on the quantities. Initially, I wanted to pay those quantities under the regular contract because it's an item that exists. But later on, I was informed that due to the amount, so it has to be, even if the item exists at the unit contract unit price, it has to be approved by council. So that's why you would remember that on the previous meeting, so we had another change order, but it wasn't included there because that situation. So we had to pull it from the regular contract, even if it exists, and bring it in a change order.
Yeah, Guillermo, we appreciate you bringing this to us, and we kind of talked about it at a previous meeting, so we kind of knew this was coming down the pipe. So, but I will say this is the final phase of Panel Road project, and Panel Road is open, and this is the final phase change order.
Right.
For that
Yes.
to be complete.
This will be the last one.
It's a nice intersection. You guys did a good job in working with Caltrans, and I have to admit, Caltrans did work with us to get that open, and even with the handicap that they required us to do. I understand.
Right.
I understand what they're saying. I mean, it's going to be needed, so we might as well get it out of the way. And you guys did a good job with that. They allowed us to open the intersection before that was complete, so we appreciate that too. So, is there any questions from council?
My only comment is just in its the fiscal impacts from the development impact fees. Again, thank you, Guillermo, for the report. That's it.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the change order for the completion of Panel Road? So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Thank you very much, Guillermo, for your presentation. Okay, the next item on the agenda, review and potential action regarding purchase of 2 marked vehicles in the amount of $84,856.56 from Wonders Ford, utilizing Los Angeles City competitive bid number 000149255.
Mayor Campbell, City Council. These 2 vehicles are utility vehicles. They're marked SUV Interceptors. We were able to obtain a grant through the federal Stone Garden. Stone Garden is a grant that is awarded to various agencies, and here in Imperial Valley, all the agencies are participating. It's for resources, overtime, and equipment, which these vehicles fall under. We were able to use the procurement process and through a cooperative bid, piggybacking on Los Angeles Police, we're able to get these vehicles at a very good price. And then we're using a sole source, which is Airwaves, to do the outfitting of it, primarily because of some of the equipment that we use, the Motorola contracts and warranties go through there. So there is no general fund impact in regards to these 2 vehicles. So if you have any questions.
Chief Crankshaw, I'll say this. Using the piggyback concept to purchase these vehicles, basically what it does is it saves the city the expense of going out to bid and bidding vehicles on our own. By utilizing this contract that's already there, it saves us time and money to get these vehicles purchased. So I want to say thank you for that and good job. Is there any questions from council?
And just a comment, Chief, thank you for the explanation also on Stone Garden. I think it's important for the public to know also that's been a kind of a godsend for local law enforcement down here. It's allowed us to do a lot of things, and you mentioned even things like overtime and personnel. I think a lot of our departments would be in a tough position without it. So again, I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Is there a motion to approve of this purchase?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. And the next item, Chief, I think is going to be yours too. Review and potential action regarding purchase of unmarked vehicle in the amount of $31,569.80 from National Auto Fleet Group utilizing the NJPA Master Vehicle Contract Number 102811.
Thank you. This is the 2012 Stone Garden Grant. When I arrived here, we were awarded a certain amount, and it was all dedicated to overtime and to resources to do operations for Stone Garden. Basically, Stone Garden, as just to add a little bit, is an interdiction process to assist and partner with our federal agencies such as USBP and Customs. When we looked at this, and by the time that this is the 2012 Stone Garden, we realized that we were no way with the resources we had would be able to complete all the operations that were listed. So we drafted up a letter asking for reallocation of some of the funds into equipment. And the equipment would be also this vehicle here that would be served in the interdiction process, as well as other various functions for the department. Again, we used piggyback through a procurement process which is recognized as before, and we were able to get this on top of other items agreed by Stone Garden, and it's been approved on their end. So if you have any questions on that.
Is there any questions for Chief on this line item? Okay, is there a motion to approve of this purchase?
So moved. Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Who was the motion? Oh,
Okay, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda is review and potential action to adopt resolution number 2014, resolution of City Council of City of Brawley, California, accepting the state of California citizens option for public safety, COPS, supplemental law enforcement services funds for fiscal year 2012 and 13.
The reason I asked who was the motion, I thought Donnie said, I thought he made the motion and the second. I was like, what is that?
Oh, no.
I was like,
It was in sync.
anyway,
It was in sync. It was almost
because it was real quick, so I was like, okay.
It was an echo.
Motion and second is on motion. That happens.
Yeah.
All right, Chief.
Hello. This is the annual COPS grant that is awarded to the local jurisdictions. Currently, it runs up to 2015. There is a bill up in the state that is trying to support that until 2019, which offers local jurisdictions $100,000 to do frontline equipment purchases and construction to support that type of efforts, which is supported by the Cal Chiefs Association. This particular one, there was $89,034.09 due to an overpay from the year previous. We identified the items that are listed in the report as frontline services and frontline equipment that would that meet the list, the approved list required in the grant, and we're looking to move forward. As you can see in number 3, I wanted to specifically point that out, that we are going to be able to put window barriers in the back of our vehicles that keep getting kicked out, so it's going to save us time and money that is associated with that type of activity. So if you have any questions on that.
Just a comment. I think in terms of the purchase of the ballistic vest, I think that's very important for officer safety, and so I'm certainly in favor of spending some of the money for that. Absolutely.
We're very fortunate so far. We are moving up to a level 3A vest, and we had kind of to my surprise that we had quite a bit of level 2, which is really not rated for a higher caliber, and it's kind of hard to call time out in something like that. So we've already purchased, I believe it was 15 vests through another funding source. Mm-hmm. We're going to be able to purchase another 11 here, and we're finishing off the purchase with another funding source that's not general funds to complete the complete transition of our ballistic vests. So it's extremely important for our officers and our employees.
Right, of all the stuff, I think that's the most important to me, that they're safe and that they have the best available.
Absolutely.
You're doing a great job. Thank you.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion to approve.
There's a motion, there's a second?
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you very much, Chief. Okay, we're going to move right along to the next item on the agenda is discussion and potential action regarding support for the exploration of affiliation between Pioneers Memorial Healthcare District and El Centro Memorial Healthcare District.
Thank you, Mayor Campbell. This item was actually placed onto the agenda at the request of a number of city council members, and as a result of the topic involving more than one and potentially resulting in a letter of support, it was deemed to be an appropriate subject for the council's consideration. We do have with us tonight the CEO of the hospital, Larry Lewis, as well as two board members, Dr. Ching and Linda Rubin, the chairman of the board. Want to make sure they know that they're here with a warm welcome. I had an opportunity to sit down with Mr. Lewis and talk about the city's commitment to quality of life in Imperial County and in the city in particular, and express the city's general support in that we're here to assist in any way with these ongoing discussions. And with that, I'll hand back to the council.
I'll say this. I was around when the first round of meetings took place between the two healthcare districts, and again, as I expressed when I attended the meeting here not too long ago, we as a city and as a council is not here to tell the hospital how to do their business, but just to show support. And you guys are the experts, and we're here to support the decisions that you guys are going to bring forth. And hopefully it's going to create a healthcare better situation for all that's involved. And we are comfortable that you guys are going to do the right things. A lot of times when you're making those big decisions like that, it's a little more comforting to know that you've got other folks throughout the community that's there alongside of you, to go through those tough times with you. So I just wanted to say that, and some of the meetings were very nice. The meeting we had in El Centro at the Holiday Inn Express there was a lot of really, really good information that was brought forward from Scripps Hospital and some of the folks that talked at that meeting. So is there any questions and comments from the council?
The only comment I have is that I hope it continues, and I hope that we are part of your gatherings that you have, and just to be able to listen and be able to say how we can help you. Thank you.
I'm not sure if they have any comments here tonight.
If there's any other comments, and then I think Mrs. Rubin is the chairman of the hospital board, and she's more than welcome to come up.
But I think I share the sentiment, and we all share the same sentiment, that we're here to listen and help if we can. We're certainly not trying to get and meddle in your affairs, but certainly it's an important issue for the city of Brawley, for its citizens, and for the city of El Centro and its citizens. So anything that we can offer in the form of assistance, we're certainly going to try and accommodate.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council. We really appreciate the support, and I think as time moves on, we will may come to you and ask for some assistance. When we get to that point, I think the reason we want to affiliate, well, we're just looking into it, but we think it will give better care for the entire Imperial Valley and be able to bring more services here so people don't have to cross over the mountain or go to Yuma or Palm Springs. And by doing that, I think our community will just have better access, because we do have a lot of community members who don't want to go away from home and away from their families. Yes. And again, thank you very much for your support.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Mr. Lewis, would you like to come up? And he says, not really. yeah, you would.
we'll bring that.
Thank you for putting this on the agenda. It's great to hear community feedback. Any lists of concerns or support are greatly appreciated and are items that we will take back to our board for their consideration as they deliberate over this. I think that Ms. Rubin articulated it nicely. There are some concerns about increasing pressures that are out there in the healthcare industry. It's certainly causing some pressures on our organization as well as the El Centro organization. And this is really a good effort on both parts to come together to find ways to bring more services, which brings more jobs, and also gives us opportunity to recognize savings that'll keep us sustained much longer and have a much better network in the county. So I appreciate the comments that have been made so far, and it is encouraging to know that there are others out there that have that interest.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Lewis, if I can make a comment to both the board that's here and speaking to the rest of the board as well. You guys just have a daunting task. It's a very complex issue, so we really appreciate not only the efforts that it's going to take, and I think our show of support is absolutely behind our PMH board here. This hospital is very near and dear to this community, but we also know it's near and dear to the entire region. It's all part of regional healthcare delivery, but there's some very tough decisions that are going to be made, and again, we just want you to know we're in full support of what you do, so thank you.
I also just wanted to state that, we're supporting through the letter, I believe, the exploration of an affiliation, not necessarily any intense details of that affiliation, and we're not in any way, I don't think, telling the hospital board that they need to do this or they need to do that. I think that's up to the hospital board to analyze all of the data, meet with the required individuals and the required organizations, and then make that decision. So I think from our viewpoint, we support the look at the affiliation, and I think at that point in time, once things are more solidified, and I think that is a long range thing, then we'll be more able to do things and help maybe assist in that effort or else support you in other ways. And so, I feel Pioneer is very important. It's very important to me personally and to my family, and so we want to make sure that effort continues and that we receive quality health care here in Brawley and in the North End and in Imperial County, and so I think that's the way we want to go.
Rocky, you want to come on?
No.
Okay, thank you, sir.
As we go forward, we would appreciate any comments and input, whether it's concerns or support, whatever, and we will try to provide you information as it becomes available as we go through our discussions.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you guys very much.
Mr. Mayor, I know in the past we've discussed it amongst council to have a letter showing just the comments that Councilmember Couchman shared of showing support for the discussion and with your signature on it as mayor, and I would be in support of that.
Yes. And basically what we'll do is, as a council, we'll get with our city manager and have them put together a letter of support for the two healthcare institutes, and we'll move forward in that direction.
That's good.
So no motion necessary, just
Do you wish to make a motion?
Yes.
Yeah. Then I'll go ahead and make that motion then, that we do move forward with a letter of support for the effort that we just discussed.
Second.
There's a motion and a second on the floor for a letter of support to be given to the healthcare districts for the support and the affiliation and just continued discussion. Okay.
Motion and a second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Okay. The next item on the agenda is discussion and potential action regarding summer 2014 City Council meeting dates. And in the past, what we've done is we've chosen to go dark through the month of August, and everyone just kind of made themselves available if there is a need for an emergency meeting or something like that. So if that's the same flavor that this council have, and then I'm willing to do that if you want to go dark in August.
I would agree with that comment, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. But was there some question too, and just a question, about moving the July meetings around to a different time frame? Was there some need to do that?
The suggestion from staff is just to make you aware where the first falls relative to the 4th of July holiday. Should the council wish to retain its normal meeting date, the 1st is fine, which is Tuesday, and we'll proceed with that scheduled meeting. If you wish to move it as a result of 4th of July, we can move it to another date and time convenient to the council.
4th of July falls on a Friday this year.
Yeah, was there some issue though with maybe somebody being gone, and is that going to be a problem?
I will be gone whether or not it's on the 1st or the 8th, because
Okay.
I'm returning the 9th.
Okay.
On the 1st, our acting city manager will be our fire chief, Chuck Peraza. On the 8th, our library director will be our acting city manager. So either way, the admin offices and the activities that generate from here will be covered.
I have no problem with the 1st staying on.
I think the 1st is fine.
These dates.
Yeah, that's fine. July 1st is
So the
And that's not a vote on our fire chief or our librarian.
No, it has nothing. Yeah, we got you.
So basically what we're going to do is the council meetings for the month of July will stay on Tuesday the 1st and Tuesday the 15th, and we'll go dark in August with everyone staying intact just in case there is a need for an emergency meeting. So,
we need a motion.
Let's vote on
Make a
it.
motion to go dark in August and have our council meetings remain as usual in July.
There's a motion and a second to remain the July schedule to stay set and to go dark in August. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Okay. And then we'll move on to the next item is discussion and potential action regarding an appointment of designatees for League of California Cities 2014 Annual Conference and Expo that's scheduled for September the 3rd through the 5th in Los Angeles, California.
And so, Mayor Campbell, each year we have placed this item on the agenda so that the council is aware of the upcoming opportunity and also has an opportunity to discuss whether you want to designate individuals or if all of you wish to attend. As you know, the League of Cities is the premier event for elected officials in the state of California. So it's great that it's being offered right here in Southern California and not far to travel.
Yeah, and basically what happens here is we get a choice of assigning a designated person to vote and an alternate, and I think I've
Mr.
done
Mayor,
it.
you're the designee at this point, right? As the mayor,
Right.
and you're the. Just for discussion purposes, I think in previous conversations, I know that this is probably on the agenda to nominate a person to be the voting delegate, and
Right,
I would think that the mayor would be an appropriate person. But as far as the people attending, we've talked about it before. Now we have individual budgets, and so I think, have the liberty to attend if we'd like, and if we don't, we don't have to. But going back to the designee, I would think it would be appropriate for the mayor to be.
I'm honored to take on that, but we do need to vote on an alternate too, I think.
The alternate is actually listed as Helen Noriega, Councilmember Noriega, and designee is Mayor Campbell.
I do plan to attend that. I certainly support the designation of the mayor and Helen as the alternate.
Right, I would as well. I do have a question regarding our fiscal period. When our new fiscal year begins is
July 1st, 2014.
July 1st. So I was going to save my registration until after that time, just so it would reflect on my budget and
I believe the early bird special is through
like the 18th or the 15th.
Of July?
let me just look real quick.
Okay, so.
Yeah, if you register early, they get the discounts.
Since it's an
It's early bird. Early bird before July 9th.
You're going to go?
July
Yeah,
9th,
July
so
9th.
you have time, right?
And I'm wondering if does Seaport fly into LA?
Into Burbank.
It's Burbank.
Burbank set aside, for the new ones because they're going to go a lot more.
Right.
But
Okay.
we can discuss that.
Is there any other discussion for the assignment for the league meeting in September? Any other questions?
One other item of note, the dates of the conference are
September
3rd through the
and they're potentially a day crossover with the council meeting. Maybe we can take that up at a future
Why don't we talk about it?
scheduled
Why don't
council
we
meeting.
take it up on the August meeting there?
We can
No,
put it on
it'll-
the next council
On the
agenda.
July.
Got it.
On the July
Okay.
meeting.
Yeah.
We'll take a look at that.
Yeah,
coming off of Labor
September the 3rd is on a Wednesday, so it's Wednesday,
Yeah, it's
Thursday, and
coming off
Friday.
Labor Day.
And it's
so-
coming off of Labor Day,
Yes,
too.
it is.
Yeah, and that Monday is a
So we
holiday.
may want to change that one down here.
So, do we need to make sure we get that on the
Do we-
agenda in July to discuss that? Because,
Yeah.
yeah, that Monday is a holiday.
That's going to be a problem day. Probably might want to change that to the 8th, but we can discuss that in July if you
Yeah.
like.
We just need to get on the agenda, so we make sure we vote on it to change
Yes.
that. Because, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, September the 1st is on a Monday, and then the conference is that Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, so.
Gotcha.
Okay. And then, with that said, we'll move on to the next item is departmental reports.
Did we need to make a motion to do it?
We have none at this time.
Thank you. Uh-oh. No, that's not true.
Cut it out, Mom.
I'm done.
Okay, the informational reports, those minutes were provided. Is there any questions or comments on that, on those items? Okay, and then seeing none, we'll move on to council member reports, and I'll start with Mr. Nava.
I'll pass on this time, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Couchman?
Oh, I did attend the Branding Iron Awards, which is one of the activities that I think many of us were there. It was a nice Branding Iron Award, and I thought it went very well. And Jason, really good program, and everything went really well, and it was really neat. So I did attend that on behalf of the city. Actually, I went on somebody else's ticket, so I saved the city some money, but be that as it may. Also, just like to thank the police department. We had a small incident today I was indirectly involved in. They handled it very well, and I thought that went very well, and I've already talked to the chief about that. I thought that went okay. So
Were you released?
yeah, I was. Yeah, no, I wasn't that involved, but it was. They did respond, and I think at a local business, and everything worked out very well. So no problem there. So, and that's all I have to report.
Thank you, Mr. Couchman. Mr. Wharton?
Mr. Mayor, I was able to attend. I got out of jurisdiction here a little bit, but the Coachella State of the City address, which was fantastic. It was a week following a work event I had up there, but was able to attend that and get a chance to meet some of our city partners up there on the other side of the Salton Sea. Also did attend the Branding Iron Award, and a big congratulations to Mr. Greg Smith. I think that goes without saying. I think everyone knows now, but it was fantastic seeing Greg acknowledged with that distinction. So, also Jason Zara, fantastic. I thought it was a great delivery and a good job in emceeing that night, and also congratulations for some of the recognition that our chamber continues to receive from the state level. Also just had a small meeting, it was facilitated through CoLab, had a meeting with a developer. So once again, I think as Mrs. Araujo was in here talking, our work continues and looking at every which way we can improve ourselves from a business friendly as well as developer friendly. So took some good input there. We're hoping to turn that into some action coming up here soon. And then had also an ongoing meeting that continues through ad hoc with Supervisor Kelly, as well as Mayor Pro Tem. We're hoping to have real soon. As a matter of fact, actually, it's scheduled tomorrow. We're having a meeting where the entire committee is getting together, and we're discussing some of the interest that we have been shown with National Beef. So those talks continue. Thank you to our public safety, in particular fire. The Harrier crash, I think all of us heard about in Imperial's jurisdiction. That was, you could say, kind of a sentinel event occurring in the valley. It requires all the resources, and we do thank God nobody got hurt in that. But I think the response and some of the debrief that I heard was really phenomenal, and we would hope that would never happen in any of our city jurisdictions, but it's always really neat to see how we pull together. But thank you, Chief, on that. I don't know if our PD had any response in that. I don't think, but
we offered our services
Fantastic.
Councilmember Wharton, if I could offer a comment on that. There was an article that I had emailed you, and it was a Forbes article that came out shortly after that crash, and it had to do with solar panels and the reflection of the solar panels, and the question was if they could have caused the accident. And so that was a Forbes article. It was posted one night, and it disappeared off the face of the internet the next night. And it was by an expert, JD from Columbia, writes for Forbes, and he writes about solar panels. So just going, I'm not a conspiracy guy, but I just could never find the article again. And so look for it. But going back, sorry.
I will be mindful when I'm flying around as well.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But, and we didn't discuss causation. I think it's obviously all under investigation, but kudos to all the cities, and thank you for Brawley Fire. One last thing I do want to acknowledge that Desert Review has had a huge story that's really gone viral, not just national. I don't know if it's gone global, but regardless of one's view on whatever the issue is, again, I think it's neat when our local coverage like that is able to get a story like that and it goes that big. So congratulations, Lloyd. That was a great story. That's it.
Good job, Mr. Moore. Good job, Ms. Wharton. Mrs. Noriega?
Yes, I as well went to the Branding Iron, and I want to say congratulations to Greg Smith, who was the winner of that. Also, kudos to Jason, who did a great job, food and having everyone there. Thank you for all your hard work, Jason. Also, I went to the high school, Brawley Union High School graduation. It was packed to the brim. Of course, we had the beach balls rolling all over the place. They say that is a norm. Of course, not everybody likes that, but the kids had fun. We had some fantastic speeches, whether or not they couldn't give their total speech, but it went well. Then I drove down Malin, and right at the corner of Malin and First, I believe, First or Second, Witter School has a new landscaping. Everyone has to see that landscaping. It is beautiful. They did a fantastic job, and I think we need to call Mr. Garcia and thank him for beautifying that corner right there, because it was just dirt, and I think the kids will also enjoy that when they get back to school. I'm also going to be going, my fellow board members, I'm going to be going this Friday to the Chrysler Academy training. It's for elected officials. I will look into it the next time and invite all of you, whoever would like to go. It is paid by Chrysler. The city does not have to pay for that. They pay for everything except for the gas to get there. And this is in Ontario, so this is all that the city will have to pay. And with that, I'm done.
Thank you, Ms. Noriega. I only got a couple of things. I couldn't attend the Brandon Iron Award. I was attending the SCAG meeting up in Los Angeles and route back, flying back as that was going on. But I do want to thank Jason, the chamber, and our staff for all the work that they do in the city. And the other thing I wanted to bring up is Mrs. Noriega and I talked about the possibility of the National Guard folks maybe turning over the National Guard Armory building to the city. And we spoke about hopefully being able to share that building with the Brawley Pop Warner athletic program and the high school program to utilize that building and that facility. I don't know what it's going to take for us to get together with those folks and talk about that, but the building is a nice building, nice property. It'd be really nice if we could adopt it or whatever it would take to get that.
Mayor, I made a phone call in to 3 people, and that's our assemblyman and also yes, all of them are going to join together to help us in that. To see what we can do. At one point, some years back, I remember they were going to hand over the armory to us. But unfortunately, there was National Guard gentlemen like my husband who fought that and said that the National Guard should stay here in Brawley. But unfortunately, as time has gone on, half of the troop has gone to El Centro, the other half has gone to Barstow. So, in fact, that is kind of dead right now. And talking about dead, they had, for graduation, the chief wanted to have the grass mowed and cleaned up because it was very dry. Nobody had been taking care of it. So I got a hold of Sergeant, she's a female, Brannigan or Barragan, something like that. Anyway, I put in a call to her. She assured me she would get some men to go out there and help her cut the grass and clean up. And I believe they did a pretty good job.
It looks really good.
And they flooded it so that we could have our fireworks for the graduation. So I want to publicly thank her for going out there and doing that for us.
And I'll say this, the city does a tremendous job. All the city staff, Parks and Recs, with supplying the fields and the facilities for our children. But if we could get some kind of help with that building, it would really help us tremendously, because I know for Brawley Pop Warner, we store equipment at Weiss Field, over at Beachy, we have a container over by Ed Soto Field. So to be able to store all the equipment and have everything in one location would be a tremendous help. So whatever we could do to try to help make that happen, and even for the high school too. For them.
Yeah. And I do believe we will be able to work something out.
It has a nice kitchen. We can do.
Kids can play with the tanks, back there. Right?
There's nothing there anymore.
we talked about activities, theater night. They have inside of there. They have a full basketball court and different offices, and so there's a lot of activities that could be supported.
A lot of potential there.
Okay. Other than that, that's all I have. I thank you guys, and I ask that God continue to bless you guys and your families, and keep everybody healthy. We'll move on to the next item on the agenda. City Manager's report.
A very brief report. The first is that with regard to the National Guard site, at the request of Councilmember Noriega, I did some follow-up with Senator Wesso's office. An initial inquiry has been made for the analyst in Sacramento who oversees National Guard properties. Yes. It was recommended that if there is interest among the council, which it sounds like there clearly is, that we could go on record with interest and submit a letter, and that letter would prompt formal discussion about the property being declared surplus or available for transfer. One area that you might consider is, I know there's been a lot of exploration of whether it would be high school or city. If you'd like, I can extend an invitation to the superintendent to make inquiries of her if she'd like to do a joint letter. And jointly pursue interest.
I think that would be also because I did talk to her and explain to her what was going on, and so she said, let me know what you guys decide to do, and be happy to talk it over.
What they do, the high school utilized the building for the visiting team, the visiting football team at halftime. That's where they go and rest up and have their meetings and everything. So I think it would be good for it to be school and city as a joint venture.
But it also might make it more, increase our ability to get the building if it was two entities rather than just one requesting it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes, so I will pursue that at your direction. Also wanted to share that on the heels of Councilmember Wharton's meeting with CoLab, I did have some follow-up communication today with Kay de Precola, and it was agreed that a roundtable could be pulled together in the summer months. She's not sure yet when, but she'll propose some dates, and she asked that Councilmember Wharton resume participation in that discussion along with another member of the council. So I'll leave it to the council to determine who that second individual will be. But I anticipate that she'll be coming forward with some dates that will be shared for a Brawley location. I offered any number of facilities, and she said based on the number of individuals that are interested on the contractor side, we can determine what meeting location works best. So more to come on that topic.
Thank you.
And then lastly, wanted to share that I received some proactive contact from the County of Imperial's Economic and Community Development Director, Esperanza Colio. She will be pursuing several $1 million from the state of California's Cal Home program, specifically looking to assist with grant awards for improving housing options in mobile home parks. And this has been an area of interest among the council, has also been an area of interest among staff, post-earthquake in particular. But we've got lots and lots of issues in our mobile home parks regarding substandard housing conditions. Since they're not our area of regulation, they are under the county's purview. We have a desire to work more cooperatively with them. Esperanza's outreach to me was to ask, is Brawley interested in supporting the county's efforts within its city limits? She is focused on Holtville and Brawley in particular because of the condition of these housing units, and has requested that our staff potentially provide some walking feet in mobile home parks to let residents know of the opportunity available. So we will be working towards that end in the coming days as she prepares her application to the state for their consideration. She needs interested families stepping forward to express their interest in order to justify seeking the funds. So we hope she's successful, and we certainly welcome the chance to partner with the county in improving conditions out there in our mobile home parks. And with that, that's all I have as my report, unless there are questions.
Esperanza is the one that handles the outreach on that?
Esperanza oversees community development, and she's asking for city staff to help walk the mobile home parks to get flyers in the hands of individuals. They'll have her contact information because they'll need to follow up directly with her about the opportunity.
Thank you.
Treasurer's report? Anything for the treasurer? Thank you, Mr. Hamilton. City Attorney's report?
Supervisor's report.
I'm sorry, Ryan.
Where's it from?
I waited till the end so that I would get through this quickly. I just wanted to give you some updates. Ryan Kelly, 448 Russell Road. A bill that you've supported, Senate Bill 1139, will be heard on Monday, the 23rd, in the Utilities Committee for the Assembly, and then on the 26th will be heard by the Natural Resources. It's been double referred to these two committees, and the gentleman that spoke, Mr. Burba, I got it wrong too.
That's what I call
Dr.
Burba.
Symbol will be there as well to testify, and we're hoping to make it out of committee and to the floor and hopefully have a successful floor vote. This is the geothermal 500 megawatts by 2024, and of course that resource is in Imperial County. The Joint Strike Fighter, there's a letter of support of reconsideration for the economic analysis, and that went out from the board of supervisors today. I believe the committee as well, Mr. Wharton, is sending that letter as well. Currently, the county is working on an EMS task force. I think I've mentioned this before, but we're talking about the entire EMS system plan, and Chief Peraza is heavily engaged in that to try and address some of the things we learned from the strike and implement those things either in the next contract or to ask our provider to start doing that now. And we hope to have some guidance and something to bring forward to the board in September. It would first go through the Emergency Medical Care Committee. The county has adopted the Health Authority, so a year ago we recognized managed care. We came up with the idea of a countywide health authority. Mr. Lewis was heavily engaged in that. Well, it's now been adopted and it's had its second reading. Still have to figure out how that all shakes out. But it will be going after a Knox King license. There will be revenue generated from the managed care providers in Imperial County. And that money will be built into a trust so that the application for Knox King and greater local control over the health system for Medi-Cal and maybe even more beyond that. There was a Correctional Officers Academy graduation last Thursday, the same night as the Branding Iron Award, and I got to attend both, and it was great. It was BOHS kids. The Sheriff's Office was providing that instruction, and there was, I think, 24 kids that graduated through the program. Seaport Airlines, I hope Mr. Campbell is taking Seaport Airlines when he goes to SCAG. The employment issue, the essential service issue of us not having enough employments. Well, we're trying to have the county use Seaport more often and build that. We've asked IID to do the same. We're also asking Seaport to maybe add a flight later in the night. It's because it's very hard to get back from Sacramento same day. And then if you are going to the League of Cities, you could fly into Burbank and
take the metro,
take the subway,
the
subway, the Pasadena line, and come into downtown. And Rosanna knows all about those train connections. And then the solar energy exemption to property tax was added to the budget, and it appears that that will happen, another extension. So that will cost the county about $3.5 million a year. And it does not really reflect the true cost of solar versus other renewable geothermal, but we'll see how that shakes out. And then Mr. Wharton mentioned in regards to the ad hoc committee getting the band back together.
Getting the band back together tomorrow.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Mr. Kelly, will you be there? There was some question as to whether you'd be out of town at the time.
So my daughter is going on she's in the travel club and she's going to Europe and she's leaving tomorrow. But unfortunately I won't be able to go to the airport, so you're going to get to spend the time with me tomorrow.
That's fantastic.
I'll not be going to the airport.
You know, talking about Seaport, that is a nice flight. If for folks that's going to downtown LA, you can fly out of Imperial, fly into Burbank, and take the metro right downtown LA Union Station. I mean, so you're talking just a matter of an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes, you can be downtown LA. So, and we're trying to make sure we utilize the airport services to keep the airline services there. So for all of you, as they tell us, make sure if you're traveling, if you can, use Seaport Airlines out of Imperial.
Mayor Campbell, I did have one additional item. Just wanted to make sure council was aware of the Calexico West Port of Entry project, which was included in the president's budget, did make its way into the House Appropriations Committee. It's requested that we do one more round of follow-up. It's scheduled to be heard tomorrow. Things look really good for that regional project, so we'll do another press this evening to resend out the original letters expressing the city's support for this regional project.
I did meet with Congressman Vargas' chief of staff today, and we did discuss that matter. I'm sorry to bring it up sooner.
That's going to be great, because I understand on the Mexico side of things, they've pretty much got most of their work in place already done. They're just kind of waiting on us to get our business in order. So. Okay.
It's usually the other way around.
Yeah, but they've already. Okay, city attorney, did you have anything? Okay, city clerk. Okay, I want to thank everybody for coming out this evening. Man, it was a pleasant meeting. 7:42, and we're done. We're going to go into closed session. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, everyone.
And Lloyd, good job, sir.